this is the collector on the corner because he took too long to answer.
Oh, okay.
He forgot who he was.
Okay. Well, what it is, Debbie did a video yesterday. She kind of stole my thunder a little bit.
He's the man in the doghouse.
Anyway, what it was, this Piggott, Arkansas has an annual FFA spring auction.
Yay, Piggott, Arkansas FFA.
Anyway, and it was scheduled for the 5th. And I wanted to go real bad, and I hadn't been to auction and bought anything in 5 months.
Do you think I care?
It was the last 30th of November, last time I bought. I'd been to some auctions, but never bought nothing.
Yay, those are the auctions I love.
Anyway, and I wanted to go real bad, but they was predicting storms and flooding and all that, and the river down here was coming up, and it's pouring down rain. And
that's the only way you can keep Randall from an auction.
I'm not going to go. I'm going to just stay home. So I stayed home.
Uh-huh.
And then, lo and behold, I found that
they canceled
it and put it off for a week. So I got to go. And on that video, Debbie made several of you people commented about the impact wrenches.
Uh-huh.
And when I walked up to them at sale, the sockets was in this pan right here.
Uh-huh.
And it was rain full of water.
Uh-huh.
And this was thrown down in the mud.
Oh, dear. And you still bought it.
And I bought it, and I paid $110 for the impact and deal.
Okay.
And when I first got out here and put air on it this morning, there was nothing. Now
oh, boy. I can mix up cookie dough with that.
That's an Ingersoll brand.
What now, brand?
Ingersoll Rand. And what I did, I used a bunch of this right here. Air tool oil in it.
Wow.
That's what's leaking out right here.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's going through it.
Going through it. Is that good?
That's pretty good.
You know, for it to be going through it, it shouldn't
Okay,
be,
I paid $110 for that.
shouldn't be coming out, should it?
The next most expensive thing I bought
Me!
was 2 walking tractors, if I can find it. I wrote it down. They call them garden tractors. I bought 2 of them for $35.
Are they over here? Are they over there?
No.
No?
One of them's right here.
Oh, well
This one right here is a Planet Junior.
It's a piece of crap.
Yeah, they must have it. But I like these old tread on these tires. Turn around here and show them that tread. I always called them turkey track tires because when they went through the dirt and you looked, it looked like a turkey had been walking up through there.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this. This here, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty blowed out. They ain't much. Tires ain't no count. And what this is, the handles fell off of it, and what this rig had on it originally.
Uh-huh. What did it have?
There's a lever on this handle.
Yep.
A spring on it.
Yes.
And the motors, there's big long slots right here where the motor goes, where your engine goes.
Uh-huh.
And the motor slid back and forth, and that's what tightens your belt.
I think it slid plumb off.
Yeah, they ain't one. But you'd slide that motor forward, and that'd tighten your belt.
You know what they needed on that? You know what they needed on that motor?
What?
Some nuts.
Some nuts. Hey, you can really drive some big nuts with them.
Yes. Don't think I won't.
Okay, we'll go down here. I'm going to show the other one. I'm going to go from most expensive to cheapest.
Oh, for the love of God, just show it. You're keeping me from my coffee. Okay,
The other one was with that $35 Planet Junior, was this one right here.
Okay.
This one right here is a Sears, more or less, David Bradley.
Why, it's got a worse tire than that other one.
I'm going to say it's in the 40s. They started making them about 46, 47. I'm going to say this ain't no newer than that because it's got the Model B engine on it with the gear reduction.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a braking plow on the back.
Wow, what are we going to break?
Well, it's got a braking plow.
Okay.
And
And lots of dirt.
There's how you tighten your belt.
Lots of dirt.
See how that motor's moving a little?
Yeah.
That tightens your belt.
Jumping around.
That's how you tighten your belt, just like you do on other.
Whoa.
It's pretty much all original.
That breeze is breezy.
And anyway, tires ain't much. It's expected.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The other one I bought is this one right here.
Oh man, this one must have went in the mud.
I get $30 for this one.
It's got a tar
And this
chain
is a
on it.
David Bradley, and somebody's put a later model overhead valve engine on it and all that, you know.
And some.
And there's grease that fell off of them grease guns.
Oh, I was wondering what that gobbledygook was.
But they put the tire chains on there for traction.
Yes.
And I guess one of them's come off.
Oh dear.
And it's got this cultivator
Uh-huh.
behind it.
Boy, howdy, I'm going to paint that up and put it in the yard. That'll look pretty.
Well, you can if you want.
How's purple sound?
Right here's another set of different kind of David Bradley cultivators. My neighbor gave these to me. His daddy had one, and these was thrown out in the weeds, and they was hauling off scrap, and he wouldn't let them haul them off for scrap, and he'd give them to me.
Oh, that was nice.
And I've got a David Bradley.
Can I ask you something? When you going to haul off some scrap?
Oh, I've got a David Bradley. Look,
David Bradley.
same cut model as that. Right here.
Yes'm.
And what I did with it, I have put tires off of a skid steer on it. And I've got the hood for it. Now I need to put engine on it. And the cultivators for it are these right here.
Oh, wow.
See, they got, on the back, the wheels is a little skinny steel
Oh, they look
wheel.
more like discus.
But a kind of a collector.
Are you putting an oil field in right here?
I wish that was oil well. Well, I have more guys. I'm kind of a collector of walking tractors.
Oh,
I've
shoot
got
the
that
dog, why?
with sycamore on it. It's a Midland. And I've got another Midland over there that I've got a good Briggs engine on, and it's got a braking plow on the back end. This has got a mowing
Can
machine.
I tell you something? I'd rather you collected women, and maybe I could get them to work. Get them to clean up around
Further
here.
on over there, I've got a Gravely that's got what they call the bush hog attachment on the front of it. And I've got three...
People, you see what I put
got
up
three
with?
wheel horses.
Can't even park the car under here. Even during a big giant hailstorm, I had to leave the car out in the hail.
I've got 3 wheel horse tillers, and I've got 1 walking tractor tiller convertible that's a snapper that I've got running, and I used it yesterday up in my garden spot. And what I was thinking I might do, now you're gonna laugh at this. Here's a thread off that tar.
Don't tell me that's my new necklace.
No. What I might do is find me a little donut spare that'll fit over and clean it up and get some shoe goo. That shoe goo's real good glue, folks. And shoe goo.
Why don't you just put screws in it all the way around?
Well, shoe goo that tractor to that tire, and that's what I was thinking. If it don't hold, I can take the tire off and drill holes through it and put stove bolts in it, and bolt that tread to that tire, and put a
Can I say something?
liner in it and put a tube in it.
Can I say something?
What? Okay. But anyway, that right there.
That sounds like a big waste of
That
time.
right there. See, it's got 5 lug nuts and only 3 of them is being used. But them skid steer tires, I'd bought at auction somewhere. And this one right here is the same way. But these are donut spares.
Wow, don't kick
They're
it.
bolted right on there. This one right here has got the original David Bradley wheels on it.
Oh,
with
wow.
3 lug nuts. See, there ain't but 3 holes. Them's the original rims.
Wow.
And they're in good shape.
Wow, I wonder how much I can get on
And
the
these
internet
wheels
for 'em.
right here, I believe these are the original rims on this one. And the rims are in good shape. The rims are usable. They're not rusted.
Shoot the dog.
I can clean them rims up and use them.
Silver.
Anyway, so that's the walking tractor.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go on. I want this tiller right here.
Ain't you got enough tillers?
Well, it's got a 5-horse. I got one just like this.
Oh.
It's got a 5-horse horizontal shaft Briggs engine on it.
Okay.
And it's got some real good looking tines.
That sounds
stuff on it. Ain't
groovy.
hardly worn.
Uh-huh.
And I give $10 for it.
It's
I
a
give $10
hustler.
for it. This lawnmower right here, Debbie wants me to see if I can get it running.
Yes.
I give $5 for it. This light.
Well, are you tripping? Are you tripping over your stuff? I wish I could have got that on video with you falling.
These electric tools.
Yes.
This little hand sander and these lights.
Uh-oh. Something fell, but not Randall.
These lights.
Uh-huh. Those lights.
And that weed eater.
Weed eater.
I give $2.
Oh boy. Oh, it's electric weed eater. I can take on that beard you're growing.
This jack, which works.
Yay.
And these 2 casters right here.
Hey, you're tripping over everything.
These 2 casters.
Uh-huh.
And these 2 deals full of plastic pipe fittings.
Oh, yes. Everybody needs plastic pipe fittings. And those chainsaws.
I give $5. No,
I know, I'm getting out of sync. I'm sorry.
These rims, I got 4. These rims look like new.
Yes.
17s.
17.
I give $10 for them.
Can I put them on my little car? Will it raise it up high?
1, 2, 3, 4. Them 4 tires are 17.
Will they fit on them rims?
They'll fit on them rims.
And you could put them on my little car and raise it up off the ground?
I paid $5 for them. These 2 tires right here, last year I bought 2 just like them for $10.
Can I tell you
this
something?
year I bought 2 more just for $10. 16s. They're something 85, 285, 785 or something. I can't remember the size of them, but they're big ones. 285, 75 R16s.
Okay, can I tell you something?
What?
My car is so low to the ground that I run over some styrofoam in the road and it hung under my car, and behind my car it looked like it was snowing because it was dragging that styrofoam and making it snow behind me. And I was just lucky it didn't catch on fire.
I bought this little trailer for $30.
Boy, howdy, you're
and I thought the
engrossed in what
tires
you're
was pretty
saying.
good on it. I hooked it.
I thought it was funny.
I got my load on and I hooked it on the back of the truck.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled it up out of where it was sitting.
Uh-huh.
And the tires was not got a lot of air in them, and they was dry cracked, and radials, I said, they'll never make it home. So I got that guy that loader and put it on the very top of my load.
I know, we saw it yesterday.
I had it on top.
Uh-huh.
I tied everything down real good. And the reason I bought that
Why? You
is that
give me
axle.
Give me a good reason.
No, I got to look into that axle. I determined that axle is a 56 Ford pickup axle.
Oh.
And I need a brake drum
Oh.
for a 56 Ford truck.
And I need this trailer with sides on it to put behind my little car for when I go out thrifting with my girlfriend, so we can really pack it in.
I can take the brake drum off and put the wheels back on, but I have to put some better tires.
You're going to have to thin it, make it aluminum, because I need it light. My car's little.
Them come in with some of that miscellaneous other stuff.
Uh-huh.
And there's a deal of paint.
Yes.
A deal of paint right there.
A deal of paint. Uh-huh.
Oh, air tool. This paint came with this air tool.
Yep.
And a paint gun.
And a paint gun.
And I've got 3 air tools here.
Yay! Oh, he's going to show they work. Oh, and there's my pancake syrup container and my chocolate syrup container. Can't wait to get them in the house and use them.
No good, folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see air squirting out. Well, I admit I could probably use some dermabrasion on my face.
That's a Black & Decker.
Wow, what's that thing on the end called? Oh boy, that one worked. Well, take that one that don't work and throw it over in the ditch so you don't get it mixed up. What's it got?
It's got an oil.
Filter. Oh, an oiler.
I'll take that off.
I thought it was a filter. Okay. Are we done yet?
I give $2 for all them.
Okay.
And I bought this pair of chainsaws.
I done showed everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I stole your thunder.
But I paid $5.
Ain't it a wonder?
I paid $5 for 2 saws.
Yes, so what about
And
it?
this is a plastic saw.
Look at how it's
That's
got,
manganese.
Look
Some
how
of it, but it's got a lot of plastic on it.
got a lot of wiggle in the handle.
This one don't have. This is all manganese. And this is a Pro Max 700.
Yeah.
It was made between
29?
1978 and 89.
Oh, cool.
And I primed it,
Uh-huh.
and it busted off, but
And
it's
then
going to need like almost all of them do, it's going to need a fuel filter, fuel line, kit, and a carburetor. You know, it had old nasty gas inside of it that I poured out.
piston, motor,
And
start
this one
roll.
right here was empty, didn't have no gas
Oh,
in it.
good.
And
It won't start. Is it electric start?
no.
I didn't think they had electric start chainsaws yet.
This one right here, I don't know if it'll do it today. Don't want to use my sore arm to crank.
Well, you were. Okay, it ain't gonna start. Oh, it almost did. I'm sorry, I take that back.
It don't rattle worth a poop.
Oh, it don't?
And the chain is still,
Really?
but $2.50.
That's right. $2.50. You couldn't pass up.
You might probably say this was the best deal of my auction,
Really?
but I don't feel that way.
What?
You know.
You don't feel that way?
I mean, you can't beat a saw.
I feel the best deal of the auction would be if you'd have stayed home.
No. Right here. This right here.
Is the best, deal at
auction.
auction. Okay.
Yep. Best deal at auction. For me.
Okay, I want you to pick it up and do 50 push-up, lift-ups.
I'll pick it up with one hand.
Okay, I mean lift it over your head 50 times.
I'd do better if I didn't have a sore arm, folks. That's heavy now.
Yes, I can tell.
But
I could pick up that name tag if
I'd say
that tag on
I'd
it.
say that's every bit of 100 pounds.
Wow. So
'Cause
big.
I can pick up a 50-pound carbide and hold it up like this.
Really?
Yeah, I can do that one arm.
Oh, well, that was before you hurt your.
I can't do that with that. That weighs probably 100. But anyway.
Oh, you forgot to tell about your oil cans.
Okay, these 3 right here.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
I bought these 3 grease.
Ew, it looks like Slimer's been here.
Yeah, that's some kind of
slimed
funny
it.
looking grease. This one right here has got an oddball fitting. See the fitting on it? That's what you call a button head grease fit.
Wow, it looks like for airing up tires.
That may be cotton picker spindle grease.
Oh, wow.
It's just, I bought them
It looks like Slimer.
in a 5-gallon bucket that's almost full of paint
Oh, wow.
for $30. I sold it all together, all 3 grease deals, and I've got one right over here
Uh-huh.
that I use all the time that I've had that I bought at Debbie's Daddy's to
Yeah,
stay off.
that's my daddy's.
Paid for it. It's been too long ago.
That's my daddy's.
But that was her daddy. She had that at this gas station. But
Uh-huh.
the reason I bought them, I figured out of them 3 I can get 2 going.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to give each one of my sons a grease gun.
What about me? I might want
Well,
one.
you got your daddy's one.
Oh, cool.
And what you can do with an air grease gun,
Yes, it's...
you pull this stem out like that.
Yeah.
Stick that on there, right there, on that end. Put a Alamite on there.
Uh-huh.
And you can fill these handguns up with grease with the air gun.
Oh, wow.
And it's a lot cheaper.
Wow.
You can buy a barrel of that grease cheaper than you can buy a whole bunch of tubes of grease.
Yes.
You know, oil and grease and stuff has got real expensive nowadays.
Heck, everything's expensive. Have you went and bought groceries?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you have. They're
I
expensive.
went in there and we had a little bit in the shopping cart and went up there and checked out. $327. I said, what in the world did you buy that was so expensive? She said, well, you got meat. You got to have your bacon, blah, blah, blah. She said, when you buy that meat, I said, well, I didn't buy that many pounds of it. It's time to kill a pig.
Yeah. And then we bought all of our snacks. Snacks ain't cheap no more either.
Yeah, I was just going to pull that down the road behind my truck, and I decided I better not.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Anyway, it made it home.
You don't need a ticket.
And I managed to get it off of there.
Yay!
But I'm tickled that air impact's working. I've got a
Randy, I think you might have put a dent in your truck.
I've got a
How did you do that?
What?
You might have put a dent in your truck.
Where? Where? Show me a new deal. Pick a new one out. I've got a pretty good 3/4 drive impact that I bought at Debbie's Daddy's estate auction with one he had.
I remember.
Every time I use it, I put some of that air tool oil in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make your air tools last. If you ain't got an oiler in line, you put just a little squirt of that in it when you use it, you know. And I don't use them but I'm still working on tractors and bulldozers and stuff. And I may never use them big sockets again, but if I do, it'll be a big saver. What I usually wind up doing, I've got some 1-inch sockets in there. And what I usually do is put that I got a 1-inch ratchet, great big thing. And it only works one way. You turn it over and knock the pin the other way to make it work. And I usually wind up putting a big 10, 20-foot cheater pipe on it and jumping up and down on it and heating something with a torch to
You
break
jump
it
up and down on it? Wow.
Yeah, I've jumped up and down on a 20-foot pipe. Drove fence post alongside that pipe where it wouldn't go one way or the other, where I could hang on to a steel post and jump up and down and heat on it with a torch.
That's too much work.
The jar of them big impacts will break a lot of stuff loose. And a lot of stuff you really don't want to be heating on because you take the tension out of it and this, that, and
Randy, I think you need to get your chainsaw going and cut that tree down. You're getting a couple trees growing.
Yeah, there's some trees growing there. That used to be a driveway.
I know.
There's a culvert right over on the side.
I know.
But anyway, I didn't really need the trailer.
No,
But it'll still be a trailer after I take the
Can I
brake.
ask you something? Did you really need anything you went and got?
Yeah, I need the brake drum for a 56 Ford truck.
Oh.
And where are you going to find that kind of stuff? And I love
On the internet.
I said, hey, that's a 56 axle.
On the
I can tell.
internet.
But anyway,
Search the internet. Ooh. Search the internet.
Just how funny how things work. That's a 700, Pro Max 700.
What are we looking
70,
at?
The chainsaw.
Oh.
70.5 cc chainsaw.
Yes. So what about it?
Well, the first thing when I get home from the auction,
Is you get online.
I get on YouTube back there and watching YouTube. And Leon Chainsaws put out a new video. And Leon's working on one of these that's a Pro Max 55.
Oh.
And he's doing more than the usual amount of cussing and carrying on and having fits like he does. And he don't get it working. It's just part one.
I love him. He's cool.
Anyway, he wants to. But my big buddy Jim, he always used McCullough's. And the reason he did was Johnny Strange, his daddy George was a logger. And him and Johnny was the same age as they rode bicycles together when they was little age buddies. And George used one of them McCullough chainsaws, and Jim said it was a flying duck. I said it's a flying goose. I've got one in there like it. He used one of them McCullough's. So when Jim went to buy a saw, he went downtown, and there's a guy had a little more or less hardware store, Western Auto. He sold everything in there. I mean,
Oh gosh.
he had that store packed to the gills, but anything you asked him about, he could dig around and find it.
I think he had Jimmy.
If he didn't have it, you didn't need it. And he had everything in there.
Wow.
And he sold new chainsaws, he sold new home lights, and he sold new McCullough's. And Jim bought a little, first one he bought was a 1010. And then later on he bought one like this. And there's a seal on the fuel tank, runs out there. There's one screw down here, and there's a screw right, if I can get this cap open. There's a screw right there.
Yeah, I see it.
And I'd fill that with gas trying to
Trying
get it
to.
running, but it ain't gonna run.
Okay.
I can dump that gas out and kill thistles with it.
Yes.
Make Grid happy.
Okay.
Anyway, I had this screwdriver, big old screwdriver, and it had a big long handle, and it said right on the side of it, 2-fister.
Okay.
And old Big Jim, he weighed 300 pounds then. He was young then. Not all was belly like it was when he got old. But anyway, he says, that fuel tank of mine's seeping. He said, I don't want to take it back up there and have Byron up there fix it. He said he charged me to fix it, even though I bought it new for him. He said, I believe with that screwdriver I can tighten it up enough it'll quit leaking. So he's sitting there on the ground, he sticks that chainsaw between his legs, and he gets both hands on that screwdriver, and he turns that screw and tightens on it.
And kablowie.
Yeah, and kablowie. He busted the whole top off the crankcase. You can look down in there and you can see the crankcase.
Well, did
that
he
saw wasn't very old. He ruined it.
did he take it back to Western Auto?
Yeah, I don't know if they fixed it. I don't know if they JB welded it. I don't know what they did, but he broke that brand new saw.
Oh, he.
And I'm sitting there. I said, "Boy, you don't know your own strength."
Yeah, that's
And
what
he didn't. When he'd do something like that, and you'd tell him, "Boy, you don't know your own strength,"
You better
it
run.
really made him mad. He was really a good natured. Most big people are, because they'd be beating people up and killing them with big stuff, But but he's really good natured. But if you told him he didn't know his own strength, that would make him mad. That's one thing that set him off, But I had to laugh, and me laughing at him and then telling him that I said, these little home lights, I said, they don't do that. They got a They don't. The gas tanks on them don't leak like that. They ain't got a screw holding them together. They got a whole bunch of screws holding them together. Yeah. Anyway, and he always liked them McCulloughs, and that's all he ever had his whole life, as far as I know. He never owned another kind of chainsaw.
Well, that's good. I can't wait till you get the lawnmower going.
Well, somebody thought enough of that lawnmower to put plastic over the gas cap.
I know, and tie stuff up with a rope. And,
tied it on where it would.
And someone pulled the start rope
everything at that
out.
auction sit out there in the rain for a week. I got a whole bunch of electric tools. And I didn't try plugging none of them in because they've all been wet. And I'm going to let them sit out here in the sun for a day or two. And I'll try them.
I would too.
I really don't. There's 2 drills there and a jigsaw. Now this one right here will work. That's a hand sander.
All you need is muscle.
Yeah, that's by hand. All you need is a muscle.
Muscle.
But anyway,
Well, if I find a muscle, I'll let him use it.
I've already got one of these, and these are pretty handy.
Is that like for slapping people around?
This is a Black & Decker.
No, the thingy on the end.
That one that don't work.
Randy, the thingy on the end. What is that?
You put sandpaper on there.
Oh.
You put a disc on there, round.
Unscrew
that.
I see that now. I thought you
just
just.
sit around, got
I thought you just went around and rubbered stuff.
That's a Chicago pneumatic, and this one here's a Chicago pneumatic.
And that.
Man, as good as Ingersoll Rand. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
I got more stuff to play with, and Debbie was just telling me a while ago.
Clean up.
Even if I live to be 100, I'm not going to get all this stuff done.
No, you're not. I said 1,000.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe. Even if I'm Methuselah, huh?
Yeah,
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not into, you see guys take stuff apart and they restore it, put all new seals, put everything new in it, paint it, make it better than it was when it come off. I don't never do that, and I'm not going to do that. I ain't got time for that. You get something started, but you never do nothing. I ain't got time for that. But just like them walking tractors, I talked to the boy that was looking at them. I come up there, those are some of the last things sold, and he said, I figured I'd buy them for scrap. He was buying scrap.
Well, you should have let him have them.
$200 a ton. And I told him I knew what they was, and I said, well, you might buy them for scrap, but I'm gonna stand there and bid again. I said, you won't get them for
the barn swallows are back.
But
Yay.
what it is, I hate to see stuff like that go off for scrap.
Listen, darling, stuff goes to scrap.
But if somebody wanted a walking tractor and they come by here and they would give me a fair price, I would sell it to them.
Okay, and if you're
but
not
I ain't gonna
here,
sell it to them so cheap that they can sell it for scrap. They're gonna have to give me enough money that I know they intend on fixing it and using it.
Okay, and
it's kind of like I want to give them a good home.
If you're, for the love of stars, you're one of those people.
After I sell something, there's no strings attached. I sell you something. It's yours to do whatever you want with it.
If I am here alone and you're gone, I'll make them a deal. Every one of them for $20.
Yeah, well, that's a deal.
And then I'll get rid of all of them, and then I'll get to see a grown man cry.
I was wanting a David Bradley breaking plow.
And you got it.
And this girl had one on Facebook Marketplace for $100. The old David Bradley tractor, tires flat on it, with a breaking plow on the back.
So you didn't get it. I think.
And I got a hold of her. And she said she could meet you at Gatewood or Myrtle or Caulfield, Missouri, up on 142. And I told her, yeah, I'll buy it off you. I'll meet you up there. And then something, and she come back. And I said, well, I'm not very far from Myrtle. I'm only 19 miles from Myrtle. If you'll bring it down to my house, I'll give you $120 for it. And I never did get that bought off of her. There's something always deal I couldn't meet up with her or something, and I don't know and what the deal was, but I never did get to buy it. But what I was wanting was that breaking plow. I wanted a breaking plow for David Bradley. And that breaking plow off of that little one will fit on these big ones. It's a little small for them, but it'll still work on it if I want. I'm gonna get one of them bigger ones.
Oh my gosh, you're a knucklehead.
Knucklehead?
Yeah,
No,
knucklehead.
This an old geezer likes fooling with junk.
Well, why don't you go get a job at the junkyard, and then you can fool with junk.
I had a job down there.
I know, and you brought too much junk home.
I had a job down there where everybody brings the scrap, and I had to quit because I never had a paycheck because I was always buying the good stuff and bringing it home. And I always had to give him about twice what he'd give for it before I could buy anything.
Oh, jeepers. I think I'm going to leave now.
The job I would love to have had, and I never could get it,
Yes.
was out at the landfill, city dump.
Oh, God, that's even worse.
That would have been my dream job.
Oh,
I bet you if I had worked at the city dump,
you would just...
I would have 2,000 or 3,000 bicycles.
You would just make you a little shack out there and live. You'd be the hermit at the dump. Oh, my gosh, look at you. No wonder your beard's so...
Yeah, fertilized.
Oh, shit. Okay, everybody.
Tea.
I think
That
that's...
must have been a tea bag. That's a bit of tea. It was kind of gritty. I told Debbie she could have them shelves if she wanted them, the little blue shelves.
I think you need them more than I do.
Yeah, okay.
You probably got stuff you could put in there.
That saw right there, though.
His brain.
What I think I'll do with that is sharpen it good.
Actually, his brain would only fit.
I think I'll sharpen it good, and I'm not going to mess with the carburetor or nothing on it.
Yes.
Because it will start and run. And I'm going to run a tank or two of gas through it before I mess with it.
Okay.
And if it don't clean up after a tank or two of gas, then I'll take the carburetor apart.
Then
and
we'll
clean
take it to Ricky Walker's?
No.
No?
I was going to put that in for sale.
Oh, that one.
Get it running, idling good, and sawing good, and put it on Facebook.
You know, now's not the time to sell chainsaws. You're supposed to wait till winter.
Don't matter.
Don't
There's
matter?
a lot of people wanting chainsaws right now.
Really?
Because there's a lot of trees blowing down.
Oh, that's
and
true.
there's another storm coming this weekend.
That's
Everybody's
true.
wanting a chainsaw to...
Okay.
I could tell a little story.
I don't want a chainsaw.
I went to auction and I bought
I want chocolate.
a whole pile of saws for $85. Ended up costing me $4.50 a piece for them saws.
I think you told
And
this
I was
story.
carrying them out to the truck, and this lady comes out there, and she's talking to me, and I said, no, I don't do custom chainsaw work or nothing like that. And she said, well, I had a bunch of trees along my driveway, big tall pine trees, big trees, she said. And the wind come along, broke the top out. And she said, I went out there to hatch it and chopped the limbs off of them, and tops was in the yard and piled them up and burned them. And she said, I called several different people to come out and wanted them to cut them trees down. And just cut the trees down and put them on the ground. And she said, they asked me $200 a piece to cut them trees. And she said, so I went down there to Lowe's and I bought me some big heavy extension cord and an electric chainsaw. And she said, it's got a 12-inch blade on it. And she said, they was too big around at the ground to cut. She said, so high as it was comfortable for me, she said, I hacked around. She said, I laid every one of them trees on the ground with that electric chainsaw. She said, I cut all the limbs off with the electric chainsaw. And she said the big logs was laying there, and I burnt them limbs up. And she said a guy come by wanting them logs, and she said I told him if he'd haul them off, he'd pretty much have them. And she said he come back to get a load of logs, and said the first thing he did ask me if I wanted them stumps cut down lower. And she said he had a big old gas chainsaw, and she said he cut them stumps off so low to the ground I can go over them with my riding lawnmower.
Oh, wow.
And she said he did me a good job on them stumps. She said, and it didn't cost me. She said, I paid less than $200 for that electric chainsaw. And she said when the chain would get dull, she said, I didn't know how to sharpen it. She said, so I just bought another new chain. She said, I still spent less than $200 getting all them trees gone. And they wanted that per tree.
I know.
And I said, well, they got to make a living. They got to buy liability insurance and pay their help and all that. I said, that's how come that stuff costs so high. But I thought that was a neat story that she was a granny girl like Debbie.
No, see, I would have put dug a hole and put tannerite under each stump, and I'd have blowed them.
You just piled stuff around the bottom of them, built a fire,
Yeah,
and they'd been burning like all the way up, you know.
Or tannerite them to death.
And then they'd be burnt stems standing there.
Well, it'd be cool.
You'd burn them. If you'd had tannerite, you might have tried blowing them up. I don't know. But Debbie would just burned them down.
Yes, I'm a
Her
burner.
and her daddy liked to light fires all the
Yes.
time. She got that, inherited that
Yes.
from her daddy, that firebug gene. But anyway.
And you're suppressing my firebug gene. You're the garden hose to my fire, and I don't like it.
Anyway,
Yes.
I got to do one thing. Let me see that. There's my little girl today. See, she's got that red hair dyed up real good and everything. She's got that nice little smile going.
Hi.
And somebody said something about her hair. See how her hair hangs to her waist? It used to hang to her knees, and she cut it off. It was
longer than that.
Yeah, down below her knees. And she got tired of washing it. So
yes. Oh my
God. It took
God.
her like 4 hours to wash her hair.
I'm an old woman. I don't need to waste that much time on the hair.
She cut it off. I hate to see her cut it off, but it's her hair.
Well, I don't like your beard.
You'll be just as pretty. Well, you can trim my beard today.
No, fire.
I did a singe job once.
Yeah, you never know what you'll get when you burn brush off. Well, anyway, thanks. Yeah, ticks and chiggers. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day. And we love each and every one of you. And
goodbye and good luck to you.
Thank you
if
for
you
watching.
want to have fun, go to the auction.
And see Randy. And y'all have a great day. And be sure and like and subscribe and comment below and share. Share the fire out of this. And we just love y'all. Have a great day. It's beautiful outside. Bye.